One of the highlights of my recent cross-country motorcycle trip was meeting up with my good friends and fellow riders, Raymond and Wayne. Raymond and his wife Kathy live in the Pacific Northwest, and Wayne, who is from the area where I live, grabbed a flight out there and rented a bike. Neither Wayne nor I had ever really seen much of that part of the country, so Raymond planned a route that included some fantastic riding. I asked Raymond what we could expect to see.
You'll see mountains, water, curvy roads, shops where they sell oysters, fishermen, pretty women.
The weather turned out to be a bit on the cool side when we started out, so after a short while we pulled over to add some layers to better suit the conditions. Our lunch stop included an outstanding choice of food from locally owned and operated food trucks. The weather turned nice, which made for some great riding. Our home base for the next 2 days was in Port Townsend, Washington. It's a really pretty town located on the Quimper Peninsula. The next morning, we rode our bikes onto a ferry to cross the bay and onto Whidbey Island. After a short ride, we reached the Deception Pass Bridge. The views were spectacular. A bit too spectacular for me, since I get a little vertigo when trying to look down from a steep height like that. Wayne was willing to take the camera and look over the edge of the bridge.
We are at Deception Pass, and as you can see, it's kind of high up here.
After that stop, we continued our ride on Whidbey Island. After some route calculating, we were treated to some spectacular views of the North Cascade mountain range near Darrington, Washington. After a nice day of riding, we got back on a ferry and headed back to our hotel in Port Townsend, where we had a nice dinner at a restaurant overlooking the bay. The next day, we began working our way back south and made a stop in the town of Port Angeles, Washington. We decided to find a place there for the night, but there didn't seem to be anything available. I used the Airbnb app and found what looked to be a pretty decent place to stay. As we pulled onto the property, I encountered a local resident who might have never seen a motorcycle before. The house itself turned out to be pretty amazing. And the view from the edge of the property wasn't bad either.
This is the Juan Fuca Strait and it drains the Puget Sound into the Pacific Ocean. The area you see over here, that's Canada. That's how close we are to Canada.
The next day we took a detour to see Cape Flattery, which is the northwesternmost point of the contiguous United States. There's a decent hike that takes you through a beautiful forested area to some overlooks. You do have to watch out for a number of slippery spots on the hike.
Oh, okay. Whoa, whoa.
Once you're there, the views are breathtaking. We then continued our ride back toward the state of Oregon. We had to make our way back to Raymond's place, where we started brainstorming for next year's trip before bidding our farewells.